Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Trancelation, and the key was provided by developer. This is more a tool than a game because it allows learning languages by connecting words with a moving dot. So it looks like an arcade game, but it's actually a tool to learn languages. I'm gonna not show you the arcade version because this is just without words. This is pretty much the same as the game with words but without them, so it's kind of pointless. I'm gonna show you settings because the game is quite horrible in this case. There is no regulation of resolution. All I could do was put the game into window mode with Alt Enter. F5 doesn't work and there is no regulation, at least I don't see any. We have a couple of languages. The game is generally very much based on languages. There is a couple of them and they can be used in the game itself, which I'm going to show you. Also, we can check difficulty level. There is 3 of them. I picked the first one just for the showing. We can regulate music and sound. That's nice. Font size, I picked the highest. I'm not sure how much it changes, but just for the sake of easily seeing everything. And yeah, let's go to play. Alright, so basically we have custom version where we can connect. I guess this is English slash Espanol, Spanish. This is game connections, which I probably wouldn't do because I don't know many of those games. Some of them I do, but like probably, well, I'm not sure if I know half of them, so I'm gonna just leave it. Multilingual probably connects all this stuff, right? So there is just all languages in game together. That's messed up because I only know English, some German, and I can read Russian. I don't know Russian, but I can read Russian. I can read Cyrillic. And the rest I don't know, so I'm not gonna go into mixed stuff. Synonyms, probably does English as well. But this is the main body of the game. You pick here what languages you want to see. So I chose Polish to English because I know those two. I'm native Polish speaker and I know English. So I took those, and yeah, I could theoretically use German and Russian, but I'm not gonna go into this. I'm not even sure what's this. Is it Chinese or Japanese? No idea. Francais, Spanish, no idea. Well, I had French a bit. Well, I don't know why those names are in this language. Like this is Deutsch, not German. This is Francais and not French, so it's a bit confusing. But yeah, there is generally speaking 7 languages here. So we're gonna test this Polish versus English, and you can pick here a variety of topics, and it also connects grammar with just vocabulary. Even have Morse code for some reason. How does it look? Let's see. Oh, looks like this. Oh, you can even learn Morse code. Yeah, there is numbers. There is here adjectives, so these are parts of the speech. Activities that would be probably verbs. And then you have groups of just vocabulary, right? So maybe let's go with animals. That should be easy, just for everybody to understand. And what next? Then you can change this language order. I'm gonna use just this, the first one, the basic. And then we're going to check this challenge mode. So basically we have 4 options. Training, it's just correct answers. Then we have question. This is the best one in my opinion. You have 4 options out of well, there's 1 proper and 1 question and 3 bad ones. So you have to pick the right one out of 4. But you see basically 4 words and a question in another language. So that's, you see the other words, but you have to pick the right one. This is, you don't see all. I think this one is better because you see it in writing, or the whole word. And pairing I didn't test. I'm gonna just abandon it because I can just show you everything. I think this is the main body of the game, well, the tool. So I'm gonna just show you one example and then just you can check it on your own. Let's just go through these, how many there are. So for English there is this many. You can pause it, I guess. I'm not sure what's IPA. Let's check what's IPA. I'm not sure what's IPA. No idea what's IPA. This is something, whatever. You can Google it. Maybe it's the sounds, right? Yeah, this might be just the pronunciation, but I'm not sure what's the abbreviation stand for. And numbers, yeah, this is just variety of numbers. PL, this is Polish. Periodic table, yeah, not all of them, but some of them. Politics, yeah, this is more complex. Time could be useful. Travel maybe as well. Let's just go with animals. Right. And now the gameplay itself. Now here, we have basically 8 areas. Right, we start here. Then we have the next one with a wall inside. I think they look different, or maybe similar. I'm not sure about the background. The background is a bit problematic, but I'm gonna move to it. So basically, to unlock next area, you have to do the quests, those tasks here. And once you do them, you can move to next one. So I moved from first to second. Now, if I could do 2 out of 3 of these, I could move to the next one, to the third area. And then there's basically 8 of them. They're all the same in terms of gameplay, but well, they give you some variety in terms of how they look, and maybe next one might be harder, but generally what you do the same thing. You just connect words with other words. That's what you do, but it kinda gives you different environment and additional obstacles. Alright, so now the gameplay itself looks like this. You have this moving dot. You can boost yourself with left mouse button. You have to avoid those evil orbs, because if you run into them like this, you die. And just speaking, you take this here. Hair, I think they meant hair, yes, hair. Hair would be Zions. Now dolphin. Dolphin is of course delphin. Need to find it. That's delphin. There is dolphin. And then next one, this is shield. I guess you can get hit once. Butterfly, this is motyl. Okay, sheep. This is ovca. Ovca. Yeah. There we go. Pig. That's świnia, probably. Świnia. And we dead. 3 more attempts. I mean, we can get hit 3 times. Panther. Now 4 times because I healed. Panther. That would be Pantera, which is here. Monkey is Małpa. So I'm looking for Małpa. Małpa. There she goes. I guess she. Shrimp. That's krewetka. Krewetka is there. Yeah, I'm pronouncing Polish in Polish. Pet. That would be zwierzę domowe, I guess. Pigeon. Gołąb. Let's go for gołąb. There we go. Gołąb. Shield again. Hedgehog. And that's Jesh. That's Jesh. I know, different well, letters than in English. What am I doing? Eagle, orzeł. Alright. It's the national bird of Poland. Pole is Sowa. Let's go for Sowa. And 2000 will be enough, I guess. So I'm gonna kill myself. Cat is caught. I'll just go for caught. Then I'm gonna mess it up. Or maybe not, because we are having this nice boost. Snail. No, I would have to do 2000 with 3 vocabulary types. I'm not gonna do it really. We are looking for Ślimak. Alright, I'm gonna die now. Just anything, right? Let's crash. Or we can take the wrong word. Maybe crash again. Let's crash. And maybe crash again. So we die. Trying to die, but I can't. It's not timed really. Okay, so the only problem I have here is that the background is kinda annoying. I'm pretty sure you can get seizures if you have susceptibility to seizures, so this is a bit not the best idea. I would personally like the option to change the background to something else, because For some people, this changing background can be either distracting or just can cause some problems if you are susceptible for seizures when you're looking at stuff like that, like disco. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm not sure what's the name, but I guess this seizures is the name. So yeah, this could be a problem if you just use it as a tool for learning. For some people, this environment is just maybe too annoying or just be very distracting. There should be just different backgrounds to choose from. The other problem is not the sound but the graphics. I'm only talking about resolution. It would really use resolution setting and window mode as such because it's not there. It's not in the options at all. So I would prefer to have it. Sound is okay. We have all the languages and we have sound and music separately, so that's okay. But graphically, you have pretty much no options. You just have to play it as is in the full screen or in this forced window mode, which is very little. I would prefer to have all the typical resolutions and window mode. The gameplay is not the best because this is very easy. Uh, well, simple, not easy. A very simple arcade game, right? You just move with an orb, you avoid other orbs, and you collect power-ups. So this isn't a very good game, really, but it's not about the game, it's about the tool to learn language. So as a tool for learning language, this is very useful, especially for kids, especially for people who have problem focusing. This might help. Also, if you want to associate words with, well, you kinda read them. You don't write them, but you read them. So you see the words, right? And you see them all. So this is the easiest way to learn, basically. Reading is probably easiest way. Well, it's the easiest thing you can do in learning language. Reading. Listening is harder, right? Creating is always harder than just taking passively the meaning. So writing and talking is always harder. Writing is usually easier. Listening is harder than reading. So this is the easiest one, right? The reading. You read the words and you see them entirely. You can also have this option where you only see a couple of letters, but if you see the entire word, so this should be the easiest part. So if you're just starting with some language, this could be very helpful. I could say that the game is rather bad. It would be like 2, 3 out of 10. But if we treat it as a tool to learn, this is highly useful. This would be like 7 or 8. So I would probably give it like 6 points positively because it's a nice idea. It's something different. It could be useful for teachers. Could be useful if you are learning as a hobby, or if you are actually having the stuff at school. So this could be useful. Usually we'll use one language, not 7, but it's nice that you have 7. Not sure how big it is, how much content is there. There is some weird tool that you can use to add your own lists, but I'm not entirely sure how it's used. I just saw some screen about it. I think you have to restart game, so I'm not gonna go into this. There might be a way to add your own stuff, but generally speaking, what the game offers is quite a lot. There is a couple of vocabulary lists for different languages, so generally speaking, totally there should be a lot of content. But of course, if you are learning language, you need like many materials from various sources, not just one game. So this is helpful, but it's not gonna teach you the entire language, grammar and stuff. But it can help you with vocabulary and association. So this is useful. I can say it as a, well, theoretically I'm a teacher, but I don't teach much. I was also a student on various levels, so high school studies, higher education, college and stuff like that. So I've seen it from every source. I was giving tutoring, I was taking tutoring, I was teaching, and I was being taught. So I can say that this could be definitely a useful tool. So I guess we can stop here. I'm not gonna grind it for just to unlock the arenas because that's really doesn't make much sense. If you're gonna play it, if you're gonna use it, you'll like uh, unlock it, right? Like here you would have to do 2 more lists, and that would come naturally once you get to 2000. So 2 more vocabulary lists and you would unlock the next area, and you could progress, right? So if you are into the completionist stuff, you want all the stuff, then sure, you can just grind it and get all the challenges, all the quests, maybe also achievements done. So for some people this might be motivating. If not, you can just use it as a tool to learn language, so that's interesting. Also, you can use it for language you don't know, so this might be something new. Like, I don't really know Russian, I just can read it, so I could actually learn some words, make sure what they mean, so that could be useful. Alright guys, so I'm gonna stop here. I guess that's the game, or a tool for learning. Treat it as you want. Gameplay is exactly what you have seen. 8 arenas and quite a lot of languages, quite a lot of well, just words, because this is kind of like vocabulary uh, task or vocabulary training. So there is a lot of groups of those of this vocabulary, and 7 languages is also quite a lot. So content is good, gameplay not the best. Of course, you know, it's better than just read the words and learn the natural way, like use a notebook and be bored with it. So this is better, but I would prefer to have it in a different game. I would prefer to actually have some play with words in an actually completely different genre of game. That could be interesting if you would use like a roguelike or something like that for words, not just an arcade game, which is like rather low echelon of gaming. You know, simple arcade games is not what I usually play and not something I would buy. But yeah, it is useful as a tool. So that was Trancelation, the game that allows you to learn vocabulary from 7 languages in a sort of very simplified arcadey gameplay, you could say it. I give it 6 out of 10 because it has problems with the game itself, which is just very basic, and also graphics, the regulation, and this annoying background. But at the same time, it offers quite a lot of content and is very useful for learning. So this is a big plus. If you want to use it as a teacher or as a student, then sure, you can use it. But if you want to play it for fun, only as a game, you know, arcade mode, I can show you the arcade mode. Like, arcade mode is just the ball, right? Ball that does this. You know, you poke something, you get points. You don't learn anything. You just have this weird background that can give you seizures, and you do this poking, right? Collecting balls. So this is like less than Tetris, I would say. It's very, very basic. So this is not very fascinating. I would give it like 2 points probably. You know, it works, but it's not interesting. However, the version with words is much better. I'm gonna go back and probably stop here. Let's just go back to the title. So that will be it for the review. I'm going out of this with Alt Tab because I have no other option. I can't use it in window mode. So I will see you guys in the next review, hopefully with a game that has proper settings.